If you're in a relationship, you've probably wondered how to overcome insecurity in a relationship. That will become very clear today. How we feel in a relationship is less about the relationship and more about our own focus. So I invite you for a few moments to get outside of your own head for a minute. This is something that's called metacognition. Now, cognition means thinking. And if we put that right here at this level, metacognition is a higher level. It's thinking about thinking. This gets a little loopy, so stay with me. But notice that you can do this. You can think about your own thinking. As you think about your own thinking, let's go to focus for a moment. In a relationship, there are two columns of where my focus might be. I might be focused on how I feel. I might be focused on how you feel. So let's do a visual for that with these two columns, where the red column is how I feel, the yellow column, how you feel. Now let's add another dimension to that. Getting away from the feelings for a moment, let's now take a look at what our focus is about. All right? Or more accurately, who our focus is about. My focus might be about me, or my focus might be about you. So for this dimension, I've added these rows. The red row is all about me. The blue row is all about you. Now it gets really interesting when we overlay these two dimensions. Watch what happens. Now we have a quadrant system. And notice that your focus can be in any of these four quadrants. Let's break this down and see what each quadrant looks like and what effect that might have on my relationships. So starting in the upper left, where the red intersects with the red, this red quadrant is how I feel about me. Think about your thinking. What kinds of thoughts are you having when you're in this red quadrant? I might be thinking, am I good enough? Can I do this? Can I handle that? Okay, do you see how that feels? How is that going to impact you if you're in the red quadrant? How is that going to impact other people if you're in the red quadrant? What I've found is that there's a common pitfall for being in the red quadrant. And I've labeled it self-consciousness. Because I'm so focused and tied up about how I feel about myself. See, that doesn't feel so good. Self-consciousness gets in our way all the time in relationships. And other people will pick up on it. Think about it. How do you feel when you're around someone who's in the red quadrant? If I'm all focused on how I feel about myself, how's that going to affect you? And what will that do to our relationship? Okay, now let's move over to the orange quadrant. Where red intersects with yellow, we get orange. Now our focus is on how you feel about me. All right, now if I'm all tied up about how you feel about me, some of the thoughts that might go through my head. Oh, do you approve of me? Do you think I'm smart enough or good enough or pretty enough? Do you see where that's going to lead? The common pitfall here is insecurity. Because we're so wrapped up in how other people feel about us. And we don't even know. So that's all imaginary. We imagine what other people are feeling about us. We don't know, even if they tell us. All we know is what they told us. Look at the insecurity that happens. When my focus is all about how other people feel about me, it's all externalized. Now, how's that going to impact other people? If I'm really worried about how you feel about me, how does that impact you in the relationship? You can see how our focus really makes a difference. Now, whether you're in red or in orange, our problem is insecurity. As long as it's all about me, I generate and create anxiety. Wow. Do you see that? The anxiety is almost always about me. Do you see that in your own experience? This is a powerful model. Let's move down to purple and see what happens. This is where red intersects with blue, we get purple. Now my focus is on how I feel about you. How I feel about you. Do I like you? Do I approve of you? Do I think that you're good enough or smart enough or pretty enough? Oh, okay, now how does that feel to you if my focus is in purple? The pitfall we run into here is criticism. Notice this happens even if it's positive. What if I approve of you? I approve of you. I pat you on the head a little bit. Oh yeah, like I've got that kind of authority. Like I'm here and you're here. See how that creates a sense of criticism? Even if it's positive. Whether it's red or purple, we run into the problem of judgment. It's either that anxious self-judgment, self-consciousness, or it's how I feel about you, and that feels critical and judgmental even if it's positive. So, how do you like your options so far? Yeah, kind of a problem, right? Let's go green. When we go green, our focus is no longer about us. How we feel is only secondary. If I'm in green, my focus is on how you feel about yourself. This is a powerful quadrant. I've labeled this one the influence quadrant. Influence. Because when we go green and we get out of our own way, it's no longer about us. How we feel is only secondary. We are now in a position to truly have influence on other people. Now, if we look at the whole model, it looks like this. When we go green, we are no longer insecure or self-conscious or critical and judgmental. We're in a place where we can truly have influence on other people. But if you do it for that reason, it's no longer green. It's purple. Think about it. If you're trying to influence someone, then you have an opinion about them or their behavior, right? And we can't get away from this because we're human. But if our focus is there on trying to change someone, it's purple. It's no longer green, and we won't have the kind of powerful influence that we could have. Think about how this relates to parenting, for example. Parents get trapped in this all the time because their focus is on, oh, do I approve of my child's behavior? Well, that's purple, not green. You will have influence if you can get into that green, and your focus is truly on how other people feel about themselves. And if you go green, people will love you. They will. They're gonna love you. But if you do it for that purpose, it's not green, it's orange. Because now your focus is on how other people feel about you. Do you see? It's like holding a stick of butter. If you grip it too tightly, you're gonna lose it. It's gonna squirt right out of there. You have to hold this very gently. And this is the paradox. For you to have the most influence on other people, to get out of insecurity and self-judgment, we have to shift our focus to how other people feel about themselves. We need to go green. And if we do it for any other purpose, it stops being green. It always amazes me how much power comes into our life when we understand how to operate the equipment. And that's what we're about here. Please consider sharing this channel and this episode with someone that you love.